Hello, my name is Ståhl and I'm going to present the paper Making New Worlds, Transformative Becomings with Soma Design. This work is done in collaboration with Madeline, Balaam, Rob Comer, Pedro Sanches and Kristina Höök. In here we present a longer-term study of the prototypes the Soma mat and breathing light. The prototypes aim at increased body awareness by guiding your attention to the body using modalities of heat and light. In this paper, we also show how engagement with these prototypes lead to transformations in how participants live their lives in a way that is world-making to them. We will now watch a short video for you to understand what the Soma mat and breathing light is about. These prototypes were made with a Soma design approach, which is a way of designing with new digital materials that can then shape interaction that engage with users' aesthetic experiences and ways of being in the world. In Soma design, it is not only the material that is being shaped to build an interactive artifact, but also the designers and the user Soma. It sees our Somas as moldable. We can extend on experience and create for better ways of being in the world. And it is exactly here that the transformational potential of Soma design lies. So to the study, the prototypes were lent for 3 months to 4 households with in total 7 participants. They were instructed to use the prototypes 3 to 5 times a week, and we conducted 3 semi-structured interviews with them. Our desire in this study to understand the transformational potential of Soma design brought with it its challenges in knowledge construction on people, objects, and their relations. It was very hard to understand how the transformational effects of engaging with our prototypes that aim at molding something as our Somas being in the world, which are both complex and dynamic, could be described without running the risk of becoming a representation of a detached, simplified, and discrete event. This is why we turn to entanglement theories, and especially the performative view by Barad and Ingold's metaphors of lines, knots, and meshwork, which both describe a dynamic, entangled ontology that is always becoming. So with this worldview, we struggled quite a bit to find a method that would make justice in describing our data in a way that kept its inherent entangled, holistic, and dynamic character. We turned to storytelling to create a compelling presentation of each single individual's experience. And together we crafted short stories with accompanying images for each individual. To exemplify here, we will turn to one of our participants, Sarah, who is a 30-year-old woman living alone in a small flat in the city centre of Stockholm. Just to give you some background, Sarah suffers from tension headaches and has sought treatment and received a lot of advices on what to do that haven't really made sense to her. She has been advised to engage in Qigong practices, slow down in general, and meditate, and so on. I will now read parts of our participant Sarah's story. Now it was part of her. In a short time, it had become entangled in her whole life. Sometimes it just happened by itself, without her even actively thinking about being slow. Several times now, her friends had complained about her walking too slowly. She had even started questioning her choices of living in the city centre, where she had lived her entire life. The tempo was so high in the city, and people were stressed. They were running to the underground, the bus, everywhere. When she met someone moving at the same slow pace as her, she thought, "You and me, stranger." Lately, she has noticed that she was less tired, not pressing her teeth as much. The headache was also better. Sarah poured up the pasta on a plate and sat down by the tiny kitchen table with room for 2 persons. While eating, she reflected back on the first time she had tried the mat and the lamp, and how she instantly had felt she wanted more of this. It was something new to her that she hadn't experienced before, a deeper kind of relaxation experience. Previously, she had thought she was relaxed when lying on the sofa, but this was completely different level of relaxation. And it was so quick for her to get there. 30 seconds on the mat and she was already relaxed. She especially remembered some sessions on the mat early on where she, for the first time, could let go of all thoughts. And if a thought appeared, it was so easy to let go of it. We then made a reflective analysis, making use of Ingold's metaphors of lines, knots, and meshwork, and through this we describe how our participants become with these prototypes. The intention here is not to untangle, but to reflect on their relations. If we take Sarah's story and look at it using the words of Ingold, we can describe Sarah's early experience of body awareness and being advised to turn to slow practices as something that becomes and. That is not entangling and becoming with. She describes how she, through engaging with the Soma prototypes, gets hold of an experience that is new to her. And the line that is made up by this experience becomes with the loose ends and create meaning in the in-betweens in her newly woven meshwork. That is what we call Sarah looping a thread. So about making new worlds with transformative becomings, starting to walk slowly or finding the strength to say no to things seem as small things, but for the individuals in our story, it made whole new worlds for them. We are aware of that using these prototypes require time, space, and such a thing as electricity, and that is not for everyone. This is built into these prototypes. We see it. But the value of Soma design, the possibility of living a better life, that is for everyone. And on storytelling as a method, this is one first attempt to treat this entangled data, and it can surely be improved. And it is just one alternative among many others that in this case helped us to keep the wholeness of the individual experience in this entangled data from Soma design. Thank you very much for listening.